Hello and welcome to ID Redacted. Sorry, I've not been around for a little while. Had a bit of a fall and damaged some ribs. So anyway, uh, let's jump into it. Let's have a look at Megan Gonner, Laurie Daybell's dumb cousin.
Okay. So tell me what I don't obviously want to go to jail.
Right.
So I can.
And we're just going to start off with a bit of a clip from Christine having a chat to the police as she's being served Lauren stalking order.
Be in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And can I hang out like in the bar with my friends at night?
If as long as it's not the CrimeCon convention and you're not within 500 feet of her or the other named parties that are on this.
I am just a poor boy, though my story is seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles. Such are promises. All lies and jest.
God. Oh, we've got to start off with pathos.
Still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. I've always loved the lyrics of Paul Simon. I grew up listening to Simon and Garfunkel 8 tracks in my 1972 Beetle when I was a high school student.
No one
And when
cares.
I started getting comments on my page about the audio recording of Lauren Matthias's stalking injunction hearing, it reminded me of this song. Because after I listened to the audio, I started to wonder if the people commenting on my page and I had heard the same court hearing.
Yeah, obviously not Megan. We're going to bump her up to 1.25 because I can't handle listening to her prattle on about what we all heard or didn't hear regarding these stalking claims. But go ahead, Megan, take it away.
It became very apparent to me that people who had chosen a side were disregarding a lot of the information that was presented in court, and they were failing to recognize some of the things that the judge said. And I wrote it off to maybe if you haven't been a party to civil litigation before, maybe you're not familiar with the terms petitioner and respondent that designate a person who files a lawsuit and a person who responds to that lawsuit. And I'm not here trying to convince anybody of anything, because I believe, as my grandfather once said, that a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. But my own subscribers had questions, understandably so. This is a confusing situation. There are lots of narratives being put out there. There are medium-sized creators doing 6-hour live streams about a 2-hour video. There's a lot of vitriol out there. There's a lot of hate speech. And I just want to be a voice of reason.
And she just wants to, Megan just wants to be a voice of reason. Now, mind you, she's a life coach. Bit of anyway, fair use.
Because I'm not trying to convince anybody to change their mind. In fact, I don't believe that I can change anybody's mind. But I do want to present the facts. I want to listen to the entire audio of the hearing.
Yes.
And I want people to just make a determination for themselves. Yes, I'm going to express my opinion, but at the same time, I want you to listen to the entirety of the audio and not skip over the things that give you cognitive dissonance. In these types of situations, it's really easy for people to choose a side and then continue to repeat the talking points that support their side's arguments. I'll give you an example of a couple of comments that I've received on my YouTube channel since I came out in defense of Lauren Matthias and her stalking injunction. Here's one. Please stop calling her a name she's never been convicted of. Read all the court documents. I know people want to stand by their friends, but it's important to be accurate. The judge ruled it definitely, then it has to be put out. Here's another one. I think you're backing the wrong horse on this one. You may very well end up with a lawsuit. The judge categorically stated that Christina was not a stalker and that it was abundantly clear to him that Lauren's intention was to silence Christina's free speech. Go and listen to the court hearing in the judge's own words for yourself. You are looking very silly right now.
Yes.
Well, we are going to listen to the court hearing in its entirety. And I'm going to stop along the way and point out some things that I think are really, really important. Here's another thing that I'm going to address today. Another comment. Did you and Joe engage in taking fake pictures and videos at CrimeCon to get Christina arrested? Joe admitted to moving closer and closer so the pics could be taken for Lauren. Stop it. Y'all is disgraceful. I'm going to address that one too. Now, I did say in my previous live stream.
Okay, this will be good. Her and Mo have been outed for helping Lauren stalk Christine while she was at crime con. So go ahead, Megan.
Defending Lauren Matthias that we were friends. But honestly, that doesn't even matter anymore, because as a person who reports on crime cases and a person who investigates different aspects of crime, what matters to me is the truth.
You don't investigate crime. You are associated because of who you're related to. But
what matters to me in this case are two things and two things only. Number one, did what happened to Lauren Matthias meet the legal criteria for stalking, or did it not?
No.
Number one, because that's the other comment I get all the time. This wasn't even stalking. People who are victims of stalking have come out and said, I'm a real victim of stalking. This was not it. We're going to go over that. Did this meet the legal definition of stalking, number one? And number two, was the stalking order violated? I mean, spoiler alert, yes, it met the legal definition for stalking because the judge issued a temporary stalking injunction. Judges...
Yes, no, they only issue them until a hearing is held. Lauren only presented her case to the judge. That's why the injunction was granted. And you just
don't issue that if they don't believe that stalking is actually happening.
You are dishonest, Megan.
So everyone who is saying that this wasn't stalking, stop. Because the bottom line is the judge issued a temporary stalking injunction.
Yeah, temporary.
And by the way, I'm going to give you another spoiler. After we listened to the entire audio of the stalking hearing that took place after CrimeCon took place, after the stalking injunction had been issued and served to the respondent, there was a hearing. We're going to listen to the full audio of it. And at the end of that hearing, the judge upholds the stalking injunction. If he didn't believe that it was actually stalking, he would have vacated it at that point.
No. No, you're wrong.
So there are some spoilers for you, but we're going to go through everything. And again, I'm not trying to convince anybody who is on the opposite side. Those of you who dislike Lauren Matthias, who think that she's done something wrong, who think that this was not really stalking, who think that she's out here trying to vilify an innocent person, I'm not trying to change your mind because I can't. I can't change anybody's mind. All I can do is present factual information and allow you to make your own determination. And the only reason I'm doing this video is not for all the haters who have come to my channel to make negative comments about me or about my position, because I literally don't care about that. I don't care about the medium-sized creators who are out there doing 4 or 5 hour live streams to cover a 2-hour video where all they do is tear down Lauren and Dr. John and Grayson and Joe and me and whatever. I don't care about any of that.
Yes, you do.
The reason I'm doing this video is because my own subscribers have come to me with questions, and understandably so. It is a difficult situation to untangle, and so that's why I'm narrowing it down to these two things. Number one, did it meet the legal definition of stalking? And number two, was the stalking injunction violated? Those are the only two things that really matter to me in this. So that's why I say it doesn't matter that Lauren is my friend, because I'm going to go through all the evidence. If it didn't meet the legal definition of stalking, I wouldn't be out here saying what I'm saying. And number two, was the stalking injunction violated? Because is it possible for us to remove the names from the situation and care about this from the standpoint that was a law broken? If a law was broken, we all should be against that. What a lot of people are telling me by their comments.
Yes, a law was broken by misusing police resources. So carry on.
About this is that you don't care that a law was broken. Some of you don't know what the law is, and that's why we're going to go over a little bit of that today. But part two is what you're telling me is that if you support the respondent in this case, you are okay with somebody bullying and harassing another person. You are okay with somebody making an entire social media profile, in fact, multiple social media profiles with the express intent of defaming.
No, what we all against, you're right, bullies, and I would venture a guess that Lauren herself was trying to bully Christine. And Dr. John doing funny psychological testing. I don't know.
Aiming and harassing somebody. You're telling me that that behavior is okay.
Yep.
If you're telling me First Amendment at all costs, you're telling me that it's okay to tell lies about a person. But we're going to address that too, because there's a very specific point in the hearing where one of the attorneys makes a distinction between free speech and what's happening here. And I think that's a very important legal point to consider. I'm going to have a lot more to say about that, but my main point right here is that I want to address those 2 points. So if you do a simple search on the legal definition of stalking in Nevada, you're probably going to get results from a lot of different law firms that represent stalking cases in Nevada. But they do cite the official Nevada state law on this, which is section 200.575 of the Nevada statutes, which has been revised recently to reflect. In Nevada, stalking is defined as a willful and malicious pattern of conduct that harasses, frightens, or intimidates another person, causing them to fear for their safety or that of a family member. And the reason I'm citing Nevada law is because that's the state in which Lauren Mathias resides. Now, the definition is similar in Utah from the Utah legislature, Utah Code section 76-5-106.5. In Utah, stalking is defined as a course of conduct involving 2 or more acts that the perpetrator knows or should know would cause a reasonable person to fear for their safety or suffer substantial emotional distress. This conduct can include repeated following, monitoring, communicating directly or indirectly. That indirectly is an important point, about the person or interfering with their property. The act is considered a crime when it is intentional and would cause a reasonable person to experience fear or distress. The key elements are that the course of conduct must consist of 2 or more specific acts. The perpetrator must intend the actions that are part of the course of conduct. In other words, they did it intentionally. The perpetrator must know that their actions would cause fear or emotional distress in a reasonable person. And then the victim impact. The conduct must cause a reasonable person to fear for their own safety or the safety of others or cause substantial emotional distress.
Mind you, there was just TikTokies made. And it was more so that Lauren bad mouths victims, and she's been shown to bad mouth you as well, Megan. So I'm really glad you're stepping up to the ex-Mormon code.
Examples of stalking behaviors: repeatedly following someone, monitoring, observing, photographing, or surveilling a person, communicating to or about a person, including through electronic means, interfering with a person's property, appearing at a person's workplace or residence, or contacting their coworkers, employer, or neighbors, sending material to their person, their family, or their associates. So going over some of those key elements. Did the behavior consist of 2 or more specific acts? Yes. After Lauren blocked this person via text, this person contacted them at least twice via email. Unwanted contact. Lauren had previously said, please don't contact me. Did the perpetrator intend the actions?
Lauren also contacted her.
Well, yes, she intentionally sent those emails. Did the perpetrator know that their actions would cause fear or emotional distress in a reasonable person? Well, this person intentionally created multiple social media accounts
No, she
in
didn't.
which this person accused Lauren of non-consensual SA. Did this person know that would cause emotional distress for Lauren when she had just...
So we're going to bring it up again. Lauren was going to milk her dead brother. Anyway, I'm not going to go over that again, but you go ahead, Megan. That's a good way to cover it up.
Lost this family member passed away. Did the person know that Lauren would experience emotional distress about this person alleging that Lauren had an intent to SA this person and non-consensually use their genetic material? Yeah, I think that fits the definition. And then finally, the victim impact. The conduct must cause a reasonable person to fear for their own safety or the safety of others, or cause substantial emotional distress. I think that doing a 9-hour live stream that was very emotional proves the fact that this conduct caused a substantial emotional distress.
That's all on
Examples
Lauren.
of stalking behaviors. Was she repeatedly followed? Well, not by the person who is the respondent in this suit, but by people who were in the same group.
No,
Were they monitored?
Ballet flats and crossbody Sarah.
Observing, photographing, or surveilling the person? Well, clearly this individual was monitoring Lauren's actions because this person knew where she was going to be, when she was going to be there, and this person repeatedly made social media posts referring to that fact. Did they communicate to or about a person, including through electronic means? Yes. We know that this person contacted people that Lauren worked with or previously worked with to say, don't work with her, she's dangerous. Did they appear at a person's workplace? Yes. The courtroom where Lauren is covering cases is her workplace. That's where she does the majority of her work.
So is Christine.
Did they contact the coworkers, employer, or neighbors? Yeah. This person contacted people that Lauren had worked with in the past and was currently working with to tell them not to work with her anymore. Did they send material to the person, their family, or associates? This person made social media posts, and I can't speak to as whether they sent the material directly to Lauren, but they definitely posted that so that Lauren and her associates would see it and would know that it was about Lauren. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that the social media aspect of this falls under cyberbullying, because when you make a social media account about a person and it's specifically designed to harass that person, to annoy, to threaten that person, and we'll get into some of that in just a little bit with the hearing. Now, the judge in this case granted Lauren a temporary stalking injunction, known as a civil stalking injunction. That injunction was served to the respondent, and then that respondent violated the stalking injunction.
What I think
So
of you,
what I want to do
Megan.
is just a thought experiment for just a minute.
Okay.
Can we remove the names from this?
Okay.
Because if we look at this objectively, and we look at Lauren Matthias not as a friend of mine, but just as a person, and we look at the respondent as not just somebody that I met one time and have an opinion about, but just as a person, let's just talk about it in legal terms. And by the way, that's why the courts do it this way. The person filing the lawsuit is the petitioner. I petition the court for relief from this. The person receiving the lawsuit is the respondent. In other words, I'm going to respond to these allegations and we're going to have a discussion about it. That's how it works. So from now on, I'm not going to use the names. I'm just going to say petitioner, person who filed the lawsuit, and respondent, person who received the filing. So in this case, the petitioner went into court and presented their evidence, and the judge looked at the evidence and said, yes, this meets the legal definition for stalking. I'm going to grant you a civil stalking injunction. The respondent received that injunction, read it.
Based on Lauren's sketchy evidence was she granted that temporary injunction? It really kicked off when Lauren found out Lauren Crime wanted to have their 2 cents worth.
And was served that injunction by the police department of Aurora, Colorado at CrimeCon on September 5th of 2025.
That's
And
what
this
we
is
just
how the
saw
respondent
on.
took that interaction.
Doing that it's a no contact order.
Oh, I've never contacted her.
So, but there's other people listed in it that you are not allowed to contact.
I just want to point out that the first response is that I've never contacted her. And we know that that's not true because after the petitioner blocked the respondent via text, the respondent emailed her at least twice.
And have your attorney go through it. And
Like, how is these approved? Because these, like, I have done literally.
It's an application process. It's an application that's done through the judge.
I know, but like, I want to, like, how did I might be at CrimeCon, but
Well,
I'm a rookie, so like, obviously she had to say something to be able to get this signed.
it's an application process that has to go through. You go to court, you apply for it. If the judge deems that it's necessary, the judge will grant it.
Okay.
So whatever she put in the application and whatever evidence she presented, the judge obviously agreed with it and issued it.
And to me, that's the bottom line. The judge obviously agreed with
No.
it and issued it. Period.
No,
But, okay.
without any input from, what is she called? The respondent. So you can't say that, Megan. You're just full of lies.
So wait, so tell me what, I don't obviously want to go to jail.
Right.
So I can be in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And can I hang out like in the bar with my friends at night?
If as long as it's not the CrimeCon convention and you're not within 500 feet of her or the other named parties that are on.
So there's the respondent specifically asking if she can be in the bar. And the officer clearly tells her, as long as you're not within 500 feet of the petitioner or the other named parties.
I would just read through it, know what you can and can't do, and just use those as guidelines and don't violate it. Because it's no contact, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit.
I've never even contacted
It's all listed in there.
I know, I've never, like literally not one time ever, since ending my friendship with her, have I contacted her at all, other than a response to a message.
Yes.
So again, a denial that the respondent has ever contacted the petitioner. However, in the injunction, she's prohibited from making messages on any social media platform that are harassing or threatening. And if you go to her TikTok account, which I'm not going to show here because you can go look for it yourself if you want to.
Yep.
There are over 70 posts on TikTok
Oh.
and another 30 posts on Instagram, some of which are duplicates, but multiple accounts that were made with the specific intention of harassing this person. And the audio from the court hearing is going to corroborate that fact.
No, it didn't.
All of her, even though like Utah law around that, just because I was a little worried, like my friends, just unfortunate, but sorry.
It's okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, okay, no, I think you answered them.
Okay.
Do you guys have like a phone number I can call if I do think of any, like,
So,
just, oh yeah,
my contact information is on there as well as my email address.
okay, just because I don't know, you know, right now I'm clearly for some reason emotional.
We're working
So,
here for.
doing my makeup.
We're
yeah.
sorry we did that.
No, not you guys. My freaking body wrote out crying. Yeah. No, I mean, there was one moment yesterday where I saw her immediately went to security and got behind her. I mean, not behind her, behind the security guard, just to say, you don't want to be around that one.
Oh, I understand. And you can also, if the harassment keeps going that way, you can apply for a protective order against her. It's your right.
I don't want it to do that yesterday too. That's why I was trying to I have the case, the report for that yesterday, just because I'm like.
So why didn't you file your own stalking injunction if you believed you were being harassed before this? I'm asking the respondent. So if you really believe that you were being harassed for such a long time, why didn't you go file your own stalking injunction?
God, I hope Christine's talking to lawyers at the moment.
Just curious.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always like living for harassing me. So, not done with you, done that someone else uses the police as a weaponizing police.
So this is a narrative that I've heard a lot out there in comments that I've gotten on my own channel, that the petitioner was weaponizing the police to harass the respondent.
Correct.
Now, if you have a legal basis to file a harassment claim or to file for a stalking injunction, is that weaponizing the police, or is that actually using the police to do what the police were intended to do, which is to serve and protect the people of this country, of the state, of the county. Filing a legal document and then having the police enforce it is not.
I would question on why she filing this legal document in light of all the other evidence that we've seen on J for Justice. That's all I watch, really. So there you go.
Weaponizing the police. Here's another thing that I would like people to please consider as we go through and we listen to what the petitioner did, as we listen to what the respondent did. What if the respondent was male? Would you feel the same way about the petitioner's actions and the respondent's response?
No, it
what
doesn't
if the
matter.
petitioner was a female asking for a
Doesn't
stalking
matter.
injunction against a male? What if the male said the things that this
Justice is blind, so it doesn't matter whether he's a she or she's a he or they're others. So
respondent is saying to the police? What if the male then showed up at the bar that night and was within feet of the petitioner? Would you feel the same way? What if the respondent violated a legal stalking injunction not once, not twice, but 6 times? How would you feel about the petitioner then if the respondent was male? Because I've talked to more than one female, and myself included, over the last several days that have said, yep, I had a stalker, I filed an injunction, or I got a temporary restraining order, and the police told me that basically there was nothing that they could do for me unless the person attacked me.
oh no. Oh no.
And in 2 separate cases, 2 women who don't even know each other, they're both of them, their response was, so basically you're telling me that if I have a stalker, there's nothing you can do for me unless they attack me or unless I'm dead.
Yep.
And the police responded, yep, that's basically what it's like to have the stalking laws that we have right now. It is terrifying to be a female in this country and to have stalking laws that don't actually protect us from real stalkers.
Oh, jeez. Okay, a little surprise for the end of year. We're in Oz, so we're already celebrating. So we're going to close out with Megan doing some singing. Just bear in mind, this is a life coach. Happy New Year, everyone. See you hopefully in 2026. No. That's terrible. That's just fucking terrible. Yeah, that's just terrible. Anyway, have a happy New Year, everyone. Cheers.